All right, great. How you doing? Um, as promised, I was gonna give you an update and see, you can see how I'm doing. I might answer some questions, um, and just check in with you guys. It's been a mad 24 hours, as you can probably guess. Um, and yesterday was just it was good and bad. You know what I mean? It was bad because obviously I tested positive, but it was also good because I think opened up a lot of conversation around it. I think it made it a lot more real for some people. Definitely made it more real for me and my family. But it was definitely, good and bad. Um, there were so many well wishes though. Like you guys sent me a lot of love, and I felt that. Um, there was so many, positive responses to, you know, me talking about it. Some negative too, but there was some definite positive ones. And I certainly felt at the end of the day, my wife and I felt like, that was the right thing to do, is to share with you guys what we're going through, because we ain't the only ones. Some of you probably watching right now are going through the same thing, tested positive and are quarantined at home, hoping for the best. Um, but right now, though, I am feeling okay. Woke up this morning, didn't have any symptoms. My voice is a little bit tired. I just didn't sleep that well. Um, Still don't have any symptoms. Checking my fever twice a day, and feel good, feel okay. I've been doing a lot of reading about it, and asymptomatic, I think, is what comes up as someone like myself who has tested positive but doesn't show symptoms. Asymptomatic. Sabrina's good too. Sabrina today finally managed to get a test, and we're thankful for that. I know some people, wondering how we got tests, so we can get into that a bit later. But generally, Sabrina's fine. Um, Nervous, of course, worried. Just for clarification, Sabrina wanted to be by my side. As much as we talked about her not coming to where I am, she did. I wanted to, and I love her even more for it. And I would do the same for her. So I see a lot of people going, Sabrina shouldn't be there. He's sending out the wrong messages. In this time and something like this is going on in the world, love is all you can get, right? Um, and who am I going to turn down my wife's support? As much as I wanted her to keep safe, but we presumed that, if I had it, there's a likelihood she would have it too. So we calculated that risk and we decided to be together on it. So I hope you guys can understand that. And if you are going through something similar, and then the guidelines say one thing, and I'm pretty sure that the guidelines say that, you should isolate yourself into one room, and that may vary around the world. It really boils down to who you are and what you and your family are most comfortable with. So, but like, I love Sabrina for standing by me and being in that video. It was the most important moment for me. So we're doing good, guys. More than anything, just talking about it with you guys and sort of kept us a little bit more positive, a little bit more, what's the word, optimistic. Um, you know, we at one point were sort of like, our lives are over. This is it. This is how we kick it. But at the same time, realizing that the more we look at coronavirus, realize that you know, it is a virus just like many others that the human race has survived through. This one being new and dangerous, but at the same time, really, are we still going? I think so, right? Yeah. At the same time, nobody knows too much about this virus. So, you know, we felt a lot more optimistic that more people were talking about it and what their experiences are. Um, and now we definitely want to be vocal and transparent. I think, you know, being in the public eye, kind of like we get to talk to a lot of people at one time. So, you know, here I am. And that's not to take away from anyone else who isn't in the public eye who has it. But, you know, from my perspective, I get to talk to a lot of people, and hopefully if I can, you know, show you what I'm going through, you can use this and understand my coping mechanism, maybe, you know, be influenced with your coping mechanism right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's loads of questions, and I'm going to answer some of them. I feel, I just want to say, like, again, thank you to everyone that's shown a lot of support and all the well wishes. We really appreciate that. Something that's sort of scaring me when I read the comments and see some of the reactions is my people, black people, please, please, please understand that coronavirus is, you can get it. All right. There are so many stupid, ridiculous conspiracy theories about black people not being able to get it. That's dumb. It's stupid. All right. That is the quickest way to get more black people killed. And I mean, I'm talking about, you know, the whole world, wherever we are, please understand that you can get it. All right. Stop sending out the stupid WhatsApp messages about black people not getting it. That's ridiculous. Making us all look stupid. All right. Just know you have to be as vigilant as every other race. This disease does not discriminate. All right. I'm saying this because I think it's definitely sort of some weird myth that people are sending out there. And as a black person, I need to say something. And as a black person who has, you know, contracted the virus, it needs to be said. Stop sending that shit out. It's dumb, silly, and it's going to get more people sick. Okay. Stuff out. It's important that you know that everyone can control. Back. I'm back. Okay, guys. So yeah, I was just telling you guys that please stop sending the conspiracy theory nonsense about black people not being able to get coronavirus or COVID-19. It's dumb. It's silly. It's very dangerous. There are so many weird conspiracy theory things going about. Please, guys, now's not the time. All right. If you're sending that stuff out or manifesting it, it is not the time. People need to know facts, need to understand the truth so that they can protect themselves. Stop sending this stuff out. It's very dangerous for all, not just black people, but everyone, because the more we can understand the facts, the better we can deal with it. All right. One of the questions that people a lot ask me, you know, since yesterday was, why did I get tested if I didn't have any symptoms? Well, the simple answer is that on Friday last week, I was told that someone that I had been in contact with had tested positive. And I'm, you know, I'm on location, about to start a film, and the news breaks that this person, who's also in the public eye, had tested positive. So it was definitely something that I had to do as I was about to start filming, and I was around a lot of people. And quite honestly, my job made me test immediately. I had to test anyway because it meant putting a lot of people at risk. If I had been exposed, then the people that I would be working with would also be exposed. So we got a test immediately, and we were really lucky to get a test very quickly because of the shortages of tests. But from my perspective, it was the best thing to do immediately was to get tested because I was going to be around a lot of people starting this new film. Mind you, the film industry last week were still unsure as to what they were going to do. Okay. A lot of productions around the world were still about to film. And then, I guess the general consensus around the end of the week was that, the film industry needs to take a break. And in that time period, that's exactly when I discovered that someone I had been in contact with, and that was maybe 10 days prior, had tested positive. So I then got a test immediately, quarantined myself in my house on location, and been here ever since. So that was the reason I got tested. Yes, I wasn't showing any symptoms. But I'm very glad that I made that decision because, I've been out of contact with anyone since. And, I think that obviously the early testing is the way we need to approach this. Now, I know, and this is not something that I really am qualified to get into. I understand that getting a test is really, really hard. And should I have been at home and not at work, it may have been really hard for me to get a test also, which is disappointing. And hopefully, people can get tested quickly because I think early detection is going to help squash this. The other question, I think I talked about this earlier, is why Sabrina hadn't been tested. And Sabrina, quite frankly, was on the other side of the world when we discovered that I had been exposed, and was flying into me when I found out. I got a test in the morning and she landed in the evening. So at that point, again, as I said earlier, we calculated that, we'll take the risk because, we live together, we're together all the time. So we took the calculated risk, the couple, to, be together when I get my results. And as you know, I got my results yesterday. So that's why Sabrina was with me. I've got some people that want to ask questions. If you've got some questions, let me know. What's this one? How long have you been positive? I've been positive. It's hard to say when. Obviously, when I got the disease or when I contacted COVID, it's hard to say then. I will say I know that I've been exposed to it from March 4th. And that's when the person that came up positive, that was the time I got in contact with that person. So essentially, I could have been positive from March 4th, but it's hard to say when I contact someone with corona. I mean, you can contract it anytime. But my known exposure was on March 4th. How are you feeling? Someone just asked. I'm feeling okay. I'm a little tired because just didn't really sleep last night. My temperature is fine. I don't have a fever. I have asthma, and so I sort of fit in the high category of most at risk. I have a respiratory issue, and I've had asthma all my life. So, you know, catching corona was definitely not on my bucket list at all. But even my asthma is okay. I don't feel any restriction within my breathing or my lungs. I have a little bit of a runny nose, but that's, I don't know. I don't think that's anything. I haven't been coughing too much. I generally feel okay. Question. Who's coughing in the background? That's Sabrina. Sabrina's in the background. She's okay. She was just choking on her drink. But well spotted. Are you taking any medication? No, I'm not taking any medication. There's nothing really to medicate at this point. So I'm not taking any medication. How's Sabrina doing? As I said, Sabrina's doing okay. We very lucky we managed to get her a test this morning. She woke up this morning a little bit, I don't know, sad, as I did. She feels okay, you know. Yesterday was a lot for us, you know. My wife isn't used to the public eye as much as I am. And, yesterday we were like the biggest story in the world. So, today she was a little bit just, I don't know, wanted to step back a little bit. It was weird because people were criticizing her for being next to me, and that was bananas. And I think that sort of, that took a little bit of a mental strain on both of us, but we didn't expect that. But fair dues, whatever. But Sabrina's doing okay. Any specific symptoms? No, I have no specific symptoms, or I don't have any of the commonly known ones. Are you worried? Yes, of course I'm worried. I'm worried about having the virus. I'm worried about my having asthma and how that could make things really complicated for me very quickly. I'm really worried about what's going on in the world, if I'm honest. I'm really worried about how we're dealing with it. I think part of me dealing with this and speaking to you guys publicly about this is part of me coping with that worry about how the world is dealing with it. I'm really proud of Tom Hanks for, who's also someone in the public eye who came out and said they have it and been public about it. I was definitely motivated by Tom's move there, but also I think there's some transparency, given to this situation when someone like Tom or myself is in this situation. I'm worried that people aren't talking to each other about it. I'm worried that people are, going to stigmatize other people. I'm worried that we're going to panic and send the whole world into a spin. So yeah, the answer to your question is yes, I'm definitely worried. How are you passing the time? Good question. I'm making music. I'm, I write a lot of songs. I'm learning to play the guitar. You want to see my guitar? I'll show you guitar. Bang. Ta-da! I just bought that too. I'm learning to play that, and I'm writing songs. Sabrina's watching a lot of Naruto. I don't know if you know what Naruto is, but she's well into that. Boruto? My bad. Boruto. We've been playing video games. We've been talking, playing chess. We've been cooking. Genuinely trying to just keep the spirits up. It's amazing bonding time for Sab and I at the moment, because I'm always working and never home, and she's traveling stuff. So this is a bit interesting, kind of hanging out with her all day. But we're killing the time, you know. I'm interested if anyone's quarantined right now as well. What are you doing? Please tell me what some good games to play or whatever. Please let me know. Drink a lot of hot ginger, lemon, and honey mixed with 3 spoons of honey. Okay, thanks very much for that. I couldn't see who'd have sent that. But one of the things I do know, the doctor told us that just drink a lot of fluids. And we're doing that, drinking a lot of water, way more than I usually do. I'm terrible at drinking water. So, you know, drinking a lot of water. I'm drinking a lot of hot water and just, you know, in a cup with some lemon and just drinking a lot of that. More questions. What's this? Would you be interested in doing a Periscope live interview about creating music? Not yet, but thanks for the offer. Sierra Leone is praying for you. Thank you, Sierra Leone, my country. I appreciate all the prayers and all the thanks that people are giving us and the good wishes. Do you have enough food supplies? Yes, we have a lot of food supplies. Probably not enough, but we have enough for now. We just got to figure out what to do next because we're on a proper quarantine. All right, so look. Hold on. Go play Prey 2017. Is that a game? Okay, Prey. I'm going to look that up. Monopoly. For 2 people, though? I'm not sure. Okay, how did she get a test this morning? No one can get a test unless they're in a hospital. That's a great question. As I said to you before, if you caught the answer about how I got a test. So I'm here because of my production, and the doctor and medic team for the production were contacted because someone that I was in contact with, who is also in the public eye, tested positive. So it became an issue of, am I, someone who's in the public eye, going to be infecting a lot of people if I've been exposed? So therefore they got me a test immediately, and it's the same doctor who, actually not the same doctor, but the same department that arranged Sabrina's test this morning. And we are supremely aware that not many people can get tests and feel very fortunate and lucky. But it is down to being on the job, quite honestly. I hope that answers that question for you. Right. I'm just reading the questions here. I'm not going to read that one out. Anyway, listen, the love's coming in and I really appreciate it. I'll keep you updated as to how we're doing. And, I'm really interested in how you guys are doing and what you're doing to pass the time. I hope that you are staying positive and, feeling, not feeling down in the dumps about this. All right. I mean, I think it's pretty doom and gloom everywhere right now. But try to stay optimistic about what we're going through. I said this in my video that, I think we could all feel that the world is just going crazy and there's a lot of clashes. The energy is going a bit weird. And, this virus is ridiculously unfortunate. But at the same time, I think it might be an opportunity for us to stop, just think about what's going on in our world. Think about the energies that we're putting out to each other. because this disease doesn't see any borders or doesn't discriminate. So I think it's really important that we take a moment, you know what I'm saying? Take a moment. And at the very least, if, me being able to speak to you all about, testing positive for COVID, if I can amplify that message about, hey man, just let's take a break for a second, let's think about our world, then I guess it was worth it for me, because the world is just like was about to fall off its axis, and now we've all had to stop. So I just leave you with that. This is great talking to you guys. I really appreciate all the questions and everything you've given me, and I'll come back to you again later on this week and update you and talk some more. All right. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.